Aye.
Mr. Kim?
Aye.
Mr. Gallego?
Aye.
Ms. Blunt-Rochester?
Aye.
Ms. Alsobrooks?
Aye.
The vote is 11 in favor and 13 opposed.
The amendment is not agreed to. We will now call up Gallego number 18.
Thank
Senator-
you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, ranking member, and thank you for the whole markup. This has been, to say the least, a very long and difficult process. And it's been great, though, working with Senator Lummis, Senator Tillis. Okay, time working with Moreno. To be honest. But we really have spent the better time of last year in countless meetings, long nights, and working through holidays. And really, at its best, the Senate learns together, finds common ground, and legislates. This is what this process demanded of us, and it's not an easy bill, as we all know, and it's exactly what we try to do. And after working on Genius Act, and we all remember that ordeal, we all learned that solving issues on the front end makes for better legislation. And we took that seriously here, and for very, very good reason. What Congress is attempting to do here is creating regulations for an entirely new sector of our financial system, and it is a massive undertaking. 67 million Americans own digital assets. We owe it to these people, many of whom are young and simply trying to achieve financial independence, to get this right. With 1 in 4 Americans now invested in digital assets, we cannot afford to wait. But we also cannot afford to get this wrong. And that's the balance we are trying to strike. Through serious bipartisan negotiations, we have made incredible progress on this bill. We have narrowed the gap on many of the outstanding issues. We did serious bipartisan work on generally difficult questions about regulatory jurisdiction, consumer disclosure requirements, crypto ATMs, and to name a few. I want to be clear that my vote here does not guarantee a vote on the floor. After today, we need to connect with our Agricultural Committee colleagues and collapse negotiations into one, and all sit at the table. And perhaps the toughest issue of all, we have come close, but have not finished, an agreement on ethics guardrail for elected officials, all elected officials. We need real enforceable standards for what it is and is not acceptable for someone who holds the public trust and shouldn't be able to profit off an industry that they enforce or regulate. But we will continue to work. I am looking forward to continue working. Mr. Tillis and Ranking Member Chairwoman Lummis and I have talked about this, how we're going to continue working. And I hope to see that we don't have any more backsliding and can move forward and hopefully finish this. So I withdraw my Gallego amendment number 18, and we'll in committee vote yes. But if this is not resolved by the time of the floor, like I have in the past, I am not afraid to vote no. Look forward to working together and hopefully come to a solution. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will now move Senator Alsobrooks has decided to offer Senator Warren the space that she had for number 7. We will now hear from Senator Warren on amendment number 79. Senator Warren, you are now recognized.
Thank you. So the Trump administration has spent the past year trying every trick in the book to kill the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the agency that has returned more than 21 consumers who've been cheated by banks and giant corporations. Acting Director Vogt has dropped virtually all of the consumer agency's ongoing enforcement actions against crooks and other bad actors. He's tried to lay off almost all of its staff, and he's tried to drain its funding. People have fought back, and a federal court has prevented Trump and Vogt from fully shutting down the agency. But at the same time that Congress is debating this bill, which would dramatically expand the risk of fraud in consumer and crypto markets, the administration is busy trying to fire the cops responsible for protecting consumers. Now remember, the CFPB is the agency responsible for fighting to cap abusive overdraft fees and late fees, to strike down medical debt from consumers' credit reports, to protect service members from being charged illegal interest rates on loans, to stop families from being put out on the street with an illegal foreclosure. The CFPB is going to be more important than ever if we pass a bill unleashing new crypto scams. My amendment would ensure that the CFPB receives a consistent funding stream that is insulated from the kinds of political games the Trump administration has been playing to undermine consumer financial protection in this country. I urge my colleagues to support Warren 79.
Senator Moreno for rebuttal.
This amendment should not be adopted for one simple reason. The CFPB's budget is clearly out of the scope of this bill. It's absolutely not germane. We voted on quite a few attempted congressional review acts yesterday, and those were all voted down. And I urge my colleagues to do the same with this amendment.
May I have my last 15 seconds that I didn't use?
Sure.
And my 15 seconds are the CFPB was created right here in this committee because of fraud. If we are creating a new opportunity for expanded fraud, we need to make sure that the CFPB is fully funded.
The clerk will call the roll.
And I still have 3 seconds.
My goodness.
Chairman?
No.
Mr. Crapo? Mr. Rounds? Mr. Tillis? Mr. Kennedy? Mr. Haggerty?
Haggerty's no.
Ms. Lummis? Mrs. Britt? Mr. Ricketts? Mr. Banks? Mr. Kramer? Mr. Moreno? Mr. McCormick?
No.
Ms. Warren?
Aye. Sorry. Yay by proxy. I'm still deaf.
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen?
Aye.
Ms. Cortez Masto?
Oh, aye by proxy.
Ms. Smith? Mr. Warnock?
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Kim?
Aye.
Mr. Gallego? Ms. Blunt Rochester? Ms. Alsobrooks?
Aye.
The vote is 11 in favor and 13 opposed.
I'm going to check.
That's okay. About an hour ago, I received a request from a couple of Democrat members to add 5 amendments to make this a bipartisan outcome, and I've decided to do so.
So, Mr. Chairman, I object here. You cut 16 amendments. Agreed, you said, no, we got to our numbers and said, these are our numbers. And now, all of a sudden, you have decided to rule back in 3 amendments, I take it from Senator Lummis, that you originally ruled out because it will be more convenient because somebody gets a vote. You just oh, this is going to help that one along, or it's going to help that one along, that you were going to apply the rules across the board. I came in here with one set of rules and understood that that was the case. So if you're now going to rule arbitrarily that you've picked 3 out of the basket to add back in, 3 Republican amendments to add back in, then I think you should rule that all of the amendments are back in. We'd like all of the Democratic amendments back in. And I am particularly looking at Cortez Masto, number 16. This is an amendment that was requested by the National Sheriff's Association. It would close a massive loophole in the current bill that would make it, right now, the current bill makes it harder for law enforcement to go after cartels and criminals that are using decentralized platforms to launder money. Or how about we do Reed-Smith, number 95, for example. That's the amendment that would prevent deposit flight from community banks, which Republicans are clearly afraid to vote on. So it seems to me, Mr. Chairman, following the rules you announced at the beginning, either we know all the amendments when we walk in and that's the end of it, or if you're going to start opening that up, let's open it up to everyone, not just 3 amendments on the Republican side.
Actually, the amendment that we just voted on, number 79, was not agreed to as well. We substituted it based on the request of Also Brooks to allow you to have that amendment, and I did so. And as you said at the beginning of this hearing, that I have the right as the chairman to pick and choose which amendments we wanted. And based on a bipartisan, which I'm not choosing between Republicans and Democrats, I'm actually choosing for Republicans and Democrats to have these final amendments in order.
You know, with respect, Mr. Chairman, you didn't say to me that if Also Brooks wanted to yield her spot over for me to add another amendment, the consequence would be that Lummis would suddenly get 3 amendments that had been ruled that
Mr.
they
Chair.
would not be held and they would be out of order. I just don't understand this process.
This is a Wikipedia definition of no good deed goes unpunished. These were bipartisan bills. So, Mr. Chair, maybe instead of considering them here today with the ranking member's objections, can we just get an agreement that they'd be baked into a manager's amendment on the floor?
Yes.
No,
Good, okay.
I think,
Point of order, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman,
Last
Yeah.
comment on the left, we'll
Yeah.
go to closing remarks, yes.
I would actually prefer, because of the good faith that Senator Lummis has shown, and, you know, and I intend to work more on this bill, but I would hope this would move me much closer if these amendments are not put off till the floor. but are-
Then I clearly withdraw my comment.
Yeah, point of order, Mr. Chair, just so I have clarification.
Certainly.
Because if you had included my number 16, I wouldn't be asking this question. But now I'm trying to understand. Originally, 16 was not allowed because it was ineligible based on a Scrivener's error. So were these others. But now, at the chairman's call and discretion, those are going to be allowed in, but this one not because it's still a Scrivener's error. I'm confused.
Yeah,
why.
no,
What-
let me
Or is it just, and listen, I respect it. It's your call.
Yes.
If it's just that you want to let some in and some not, that's fine too. I respect that. I'm just trying to understand as we move forward.
Certainly, there's no doubt that this could be confusing to folks looking on. It's a simple, actual answer. We have an opportunity to do what I think is in America's best interest, is to show that when possible, both sides can find a path forward. And in my opinion, finding that path forward requires me to allow Lummis's amendments in, because that was a request of Democrat members in order to get to a bipartisan coalition and solution. And so yeah, I have made the decision that treating both sides fairly requires me to listen to both sides. And now that there are both sides coming to the table, both asking me to make a decision to allow amendments in, it's incumbent upon me to make the right decision. In my opinion, making the right decision is to allow these amendments in.
Oh.
So we can either do it the way that Tillis has recommended, or we can do it the way that Warner recommended, but at the end of the day,
But let me suggest, obviously, the Democrats have not agreed to this. There may be a Democrat, there may be 3 Democrats who've agreed to
Yes.
this. But the Democrats have not agreed to this. Let me ask the question the other way around, because I know
Certainly.
you always want to be fair.
yes.
You guys have the majority. You voted out every single thing that the Democrats have tried to put in. What is the harm to letting us vote 2 more amendments that we would vote? One that is supported by law enforcement and one that is supported by community banks. We're not here to try to make this a longer process. You still have all the votes. You can keep them out, but we'd at least like to have an opportunity to vote on these 2 amendments. And then still an unusual process, but I would call it, you are trying to be fair here. Otherwise, you've just said, I'm going to pick the people who I think are going to put together the deal that is the deal you like. It's not the deal I like. And so either we get the same kind of parity, we get the same kind of courtesy afforded each other. We're just asking for 2 amendments. You're getting 3 here. And
Excellent.
let us vote on those 2. I don't know what the harm is of voting. You guys, we get it. You'll probably vote no, but you ought to at least have to hear it.
Actually, I think it's 4 or 5 amendments. but
I'm only asking 2.
I understand. I think the answer is a simple one again. About 11:05, we informed your team that there was a bipartisan coalition asking for more amendments that I had taken out. I decided to listen to the bipartisan conversation and come to the conclusion that it was worth moving on. And that is what I'm going to do. And with Senator Warner and other members of your side reinforcing my point, I think the best thing to do is to accept those amendments, hear them, and hear the rebuttals.
I just want to say I'm deeply concerned that law enforcement officials will listen to this and wonder why their point of view couldn't be heard. That community banks will listen to this and wonder why their point of view just couldn't be heard. That's all anyone's asking for. It's 2 minutes in order to get the amendment out, a minute by way of rebuttal, and we're done. But we came in here, lived with the fact that you said, sorry, can't do those, but part of your statement was, and sorry, there are Republican things we can't do as well. So the Democratic position, look, our position should be, it's all of them, but we're willing, I'm just going to say on behalf of my colleagues here, we're willing to settle just for these two.
And now I'll call up Lummis number 122.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I would request a voice vote as opposed to a roll call vote on
I
this.
object.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I call up my amendment 122 and ask that page 4, lines 1 and 2 be stricken, and I urge its adoption. These are changes to clarify the circumstances in which a DeFi protocol is decentralized in name only and is actually controlled by a small group of persons. And I want to thank Senator Warner for working with me on this.
Rebuttal?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Look, this amendment makes some technical fixes to Section 301 of the bill. It's hard to fix something that's fundamentally broken. Section 301 sets a narrow test for what counts as a crypto intermediary that few will ever meet. It also incorporates Section 604, the same loophole that shields decentralized services from basic anti-money laundering rules, as law enforcement experts have stressed. It doesn't matter if you have rules if nobody has to follow them. The amendment doesn't fix any of those issues, and I urge all my colleagues to oppose this amendment.
I move to strike pages 4, lines 1 and 2. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Call for a roll call vote.
Had a feeling. Clerk will call the roll. Aye.
Mr. Crapo? Aye. Mr. Rounds? Aye. Mr. Tillis? Aye. Mr. Kennedy? Aye. Mr. Haggerty?
Haggerty's aye.
Ms. Lummis?
Aye.
Mrs. Britt? Aye. Mr. Ricketts? Aye. Mr. Banks? Mr. Kramer? Aye. Mr. Moreno? Aye. Mr. McCormick? Aye. Ms. Warren?
No.
Mr. Reed?
No.
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen?
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
No.
Mr. Warnock?
Yes, by proxy.
Mr. Kim? Mr. Gallego? Ms. Blunt Rochester?
No.
Ms. Alsobrooks?
Aye.
The vote is 18 in favor and 6 opposed.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask just one parliamentary inquiry? Because I am confused on the process. I understand there were some amendments that were disqualified because of Scrivener's error. And Senator Lummis had some of those, and some of our colleagues had some of those. And I understand the desire to put those back into the mix and have votes. I had amendments that were drawn properly,
Yes.
that were not disqualified at all, including one on anti-touting, Van Hollen 34, and Van Hollen 29 on fair disclosure of information. Those were written exactly right. And so now we're having votes on amendments that you originally declared had not been correctly drafted, and not allowing me and maybe some others to actually vote on amendments that were in order and properly drafted. How does that make sense?
During the Genius Act, we made, we came to a compromise on the number of amendments that we were going to have. It was around 40. I can't remember exactly the number that we had. But ultimately, When the ranking members side asked for how many amendments we were going to have, I chose the number that we were going to have. I gave our side 5. I gave you all 15. Ranking member chose to work with us to figure out the 15 that you all would have. And ultimately, that's how we got here.
I will just say in conclusion, Mr. Chairman, I believe it's unprecedented to kind of cap the number of in-order amendments
Actually
at
not.
this kind of level.
Every, it's not unprecedented, number one. Number two, every time we do a vote arrangement, we compromise on the number of amendments that we have. When we did Genius Act, we compromised on number of amendments we have, and we're doing it again. The clerk will now call the roll on the 18 to 6 it was. What was it? 18
The
to
last
6?
one, 18 to 6.
The lines have been stricken. We will now move to the amendment itself, Lummis number 122.
The chairman?
As modified? As modified?
Yes.
Please call the roll.
The chairman?
Aye.
Mr. Crapo? Aye. Mr. Rounds? Aye. Mr. Tillis? Aye. Mr. Kennedy? Mr. Haggerty?
Haggerty's aye.
Ms. Lummis? Mrs. Britt? Mr. Ricketts? Mr. Banks? Mr. Kramer? Mr. Moreno? Mr. McCormick? Ms. Warren?
No.
Mr. Reed?
No.
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen?
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
No.
Mr. Warnock?
I by proxy.
Mr. Kim? Mr. Gallego? Ms. Blunt Rochester? Ms. Also Brooks?
Aye.
The vote is 18 in favor and 6 opposed.
The amendment as modified is agreed to. We now call up Lummis number 123. Senator Lummis, you are now recognized. Microphone. Thank you, ma'am.
Asking for a voice vote on 123. Mr. Chairman, Amendment 123 makes bipartisan changes with respect to activities that are permissible for banks and credit unions to engage in digital asset activities. These changes include clarifying the trading activities that banks can do and extending applicability to insured credit unions. I urge adoption and yield back.
Senator Warren is recognized for rebuttal.
This amendment makes some modest improvements to Section 401, the part of the bill that drastically expands the crypto-related activities that taxpayer-insured banks are permitted to engage in. Wow. But this one falls far short. Under this amendment, banks would be able to transact in decentralized finance, lend against crypto as collateral, own crypto directly, trade crypto derivatives, and more. What could possibly go wrong? Why are Republicans trying to divert Americans' deposits away from small business lending and mortgage lending? This just makes no sense. If the bill passes, even with this amendment, the next crypto crash could bring down the banks as well and bring down the entire economy. Let's strike this section instead of trying to tweak it along the edges and pretend that that fixes this problem. I urge my colleagues to vote no on Lummis 123.
Clerk, call the roll. Yes.
Mr. Crapo?
Yes.
Mr. Rounds? Mr. Tillis? Mr. Kennedy? Mr. Haggerty?
Haggerty's aye.
Ms. Lummis?
Aye.
Mrs. Britt?
Aye.
Mr. Ricketts? Mr. Banks? Mr. Kramer? Mr. Moreno? Mr. McCormick? Ms. Warren?
No.
Mr. Reed?
No.
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen?
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto? Ms. Smith?
No.
Mr. Warnock?
I by proxy.
Mr. Kim? Mr. Gallego? Ms. Blunt Rochester? Ms. Alsobrooks?
Aye.
The vote is 19 in favor and 5 opposed.
I now call up, the amendment is agreed to. I now call up Lummis 124.
Mr. Chairman, Amendment 124 changes an or, strikes an or and adds an and to Section 505 to ensure that the SEC properly carries out a rulemaking for the protection of investors and the benefit of our financial markets. I thank my Democrat colleagues for bringing this amendment to my attention, and I urge everyone to support it.
Senator Warren for a rebuttal.
Look, the problem of tokenization is one of the biggest problems with this bill. And the fix that this amendment proposes in Section 505 gives the idea of a fig leaf a bad name. It is so inadequate. This amendment, through a minor improvement on that section, does not do nearly enough to protect our system from the harm of this bill. As I have said before, the bill creates a system of easy regulation for crypto and easy ways out of securities regulation to this new easy street for crypto. And then to stop the inevitable flow of capital from our traditional markets into crypto that this incentive system will cause, Section 505 ostensibly imposes a requirement of regulatory parity between securities and tokenized securities. It would be one thing if the bill left it at that, but it goes on to weaken that already anemic fix by providing that the SEC actually can treat securities like assets differently in light of the unique technological characteristics of crypto or consistent with the public interest and protecting investors. While the amendment would instead require the SEC to base its exceptions on the unique characteristics of crypto and whether or not it is in the interest of the public and investors, it does nothing to change the fact that this exception to the requirement of regulatory parity threatens to swallow the entire rule. I urge my colleagues to oppose it.
Clerk will call the roll. Yes.
Mr. Crapo?
Aye.
Mr. Rounds? Aye. Mr. Tillis? Aye. Mr. Kennedy? Mr. Haggerty?
Haggerty's aye.
Ms. Lummis?
Aye.
Mrs. Britt?
Aye.
Mr. Ricketts? Mr. Banks? Mr. Kramer? Mr. Moreno? Mr. McCormick? Ms. Warren?
No.
Mr. Reed?
No.
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen?
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto? Ms. Smith? Mr. Warnock?
I by proxy.
Mr. Kim? Mr. Gallego? Ms. Blunt Rochester?
No.
Ms. Alsobrooks?
Aye.
The vote is 18 in favor and 11 opposed, or 6 opposed.
The amendment is agreed to. We now go to Lummis 125. Senator Lummis, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I urge adoption of amendment number 125. This amendment adds a bipartisan provision to address insider trading for ancillary assets. And I want to thank my colleagues on this committee for the work we all did together to come to an agreement on this amendment. I'm proud of all of us, and I urge support.
Senator Warren for rebuttal.
Well, at face value, this amendment applies existing security laws prohibiting insider trading to crypto assets. And that's a goal I would wholeheartedly support if it were even close to enough to address the issue. But this amendment attempts to use a wine cork to plug a school bus sized hole that is created in our securities laws by this bill. Look, at its core, the bill provides easier rules for crypto and easy ways for them to escape securities regulation and get to this more lax regulatory environment. Issuers of securities only have to put securities on the blockchain and then self-certify that securities laws don't apply and the rules start to fall away. So while the amendment calls for ancillary assets to be covered by insider trading prohibitions, it does absolutely nothing to address the fact that the bill has created so many routes for instruments that share all the features of securities not to be considered ancillary assets at all, and therefore to be totally exempt from the securities laws, including the ones addressed by this amendment. So while I support stamping out insider trading in all its forms, this fix is far from adequate to address the issue, and it gives the public a false sense of security that somehow they're going to be safe from insider trading in crypto, because they will not be safe. The insiders are going to run the game. So I urge my colleagues to vote no.
The clerk will call the roll. Yes.
Mr. Crapo?
Aye.
Mr. Rounds?
Aye.
Mr. Tillis?
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy? Mr. Haggerty?
Haggerty's aye.
Ms. Lummis?
Aye.
Mrs. Britt?
Aye.
Mr. Ricketts? Mr. Banks? Mr. Kramer? Mr. Moreno? Mr. McCormick? Ms. Warren?
No.
Mr. Reed?
No?
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen?
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto? Ms. Smith? Mr. Warnock?
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Kim? Mr. Gallego? Ms. Blunt Rochester? Ms. Alsobrooks?
Aye.
The vote is 18 in favor and 6 opposed.
The amendment is agreed to. And now I'll call up Lummis 126. Senator Lummis, you are now recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I move amendment number 126 and encourage its adoption. The purpose is to provide investor and consumer protection enforcement. This is bipartisan, to provide for a system of regulation of the offer and sale of digital commodities by the SEC and CFTC. And I encourage and I thank again my colleagues for working on this on a bipartisan basis and urge its adoption.
Ranking Member Warren is recognized for rebuttal.
So I think we should call this one Fig Leaf number 9. This amendment claims to restore state-level consumer and investor protections and the ability of harmed investors to sue, but it is so riddled with exceptions and caveats and loopholes that it's pretty much meaningless. Now, to be clear, one of the bill's most serious fatal flaws is that it guts state enforcement authority, a point that Senator Cortez Masto has made over and over. And I offered an amendment that comprehensively protected all those authorities, but that amendment was blocked by the chair. I offered it because for decades, state securities regulators have acted as frontline cops on the beat in all 50 states, rooting out fraud and scams in markets, particularly in those that affect individuals or small dollar amounts that may not get priority from federal law enforcement. This provides a critical additional layer of enforcement capacity on top of federal watchdogs like the SEC to make sure that every individual who is harmed has a chance of being made whole and that the wrongdoers are held accountable. As the crypto industry has grown, so have the scams. As Donald Trump's federal regulators abdicate any responsibility for holding crypto criminals accountable, these state-level cops are the law-abiding American people's only line of defense. This bill already guts the SEC's ability to protect investors from the worst instances of fraud, insider trading, and market manipulation, but it also tramples on states' rights, blocking state authorities from enforcing many of their own laws, including those that fight fraud and illegal conduct in these markets. Eliminating these protections and remedies that consumers have already under state law will leave crypto holding consumers sitting ducks for fraud and far worse off than they would be without any crypto market structure bill at all. If this amendment actually did something, I would support it. but it actually does nothing, only fool people to pretend it's doing something. I urge a no vote.
Clerk will call the roll.
The chairman,
Aye.
Mr. Crapo.
Aye.
Mr. Rounds.
Aye.
Mr. Tillis. Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Haggerty.
Haggerty's aye.
Ms. Lummis. Mrs. Britt. Mr. Ricketts. Mr. Banks. Mr. Kramer. Mr. Moreno. Mr. McCormick. Ms. Warren.
No.
Mr. Reed.
No.
Mr. Warner.
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen.
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto. Ms. Smith.
No.
Mr. Warnock.
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Kim. Mr. Geigo.
Aye.
Ms. Blunt Rochester.
No.
Ms. Alsobrooks.
Aye.
The vote is 18 in favor and 6 opposed.
The amendment is agreed to. There are no further amendments. The
Mr.
question-
Chair? Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I would like to actually offer Reed Smith 95. I know that this amendment has been
Out of
ruled
order?
out of order.
Out of order. There are no further amendments. The question is now on ordering the bill HR 3633, the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025, reported as
President?
amended. The clerk will call the
Mr.
roll.
President? Mr.
The clerk will
President?
call the roll.
Mr. President.
The clerk will call the
The
roll.
chairman.
Aye.
Mr. Crapo.
Aye.
Mr. Rounds.
Aye.
Mr. Tillis. Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Ms. Lummis. Mrs. Britt. Mr. Ricketts. Mr. Banks. Mr. Kramer. Mr. Moreno. Mr. McCormick.
Aye.
Ms. Warren.
No.
Mr. Reed.
No.
Mr. Warner.
No.
Mr. Van Hollen.
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto. Ms. Smith.
No.
Mr. Warnock.
No by proxy.
Mr. Kim.
No.
Mr. Geigo.
Aye.
Ms. Blunt Rochester.
No.
Ms. Alsobrooks.
Aye.
The vote is 15 in favor and 9 opposed.
The ayes have it. HR 3633 is hereby ordered reported as amended to the full Senate. I ask unanimous consent that the staff be allowed to make technical and conforming changes and that the cordon rule be waived. Any objection? Hearing no objection, so ordered. Is there any member who would like to give a statement?
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
Senator Moreno?
First of all, I want to thank all my colleagues for their hard work on this. I think there's still some work to be done. Section 301 specifically, I think we need to work on to make that even better. But specifically, I just want to call out my 2 staffers, Sophia and Lindsay, for the hard work that they put in. And I'm sure all of you have Sophia's and Lindsay that I think we need to give them a unanimous round of applause for their hard work.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair,
Senator Alsobrooks?
I'd like to say a few words on the bill. The digital revolution is upon us, and it has presented a clear opportunity to support small businesses, generate wealth, and I believe spur innovation. And the truth is, this digital revolution is happening with us or without us. Whether or not we regulate it to create the rules of the road or not, it is here. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and she and her peers have made it abundantly clear to me that they are interested in this innovation, that they believe that the digital revolution is important, and they want not only to be able to participate in it safely, but they want what every American wants: true and growing economic opportunity, the opportunity to become wealthy, to have generational wealth. And so that is why I am at the table. I've been in negotiations for over 9 months, working toward regulating digital assets in a way that protects consumers and reduces the risk of deposit flight while still allowing innovation to happen. I have negotiated in good faith with colleagues on both sides of the aisle, and I want to thank them so much for all of their hard work. And in recognition of that good faith, I have voted yes to advance the bill today. Now, I want to be abundantly clear. My vote today is a vote to keep working in good faith. It does not mean that I'll be voting for the passage of the Clarity Act on the floor because we still have so much work to do. I'm aware that we need to find a workable way to address law enforcement's concerns about financial crimes. I'm a former prosecutor, and I know how important this is. We also need to incorporate an ethics agreement that would apply not only to the president and vice president, but to all of us. The American people, especially my constituents, expect that from us. And we need to work with our colleagues on the Agriculture Committee on their product, which still needs work. I'll keep working with my colleagues to get this done. Americans from every background and every community deserve to benefit financially from this digital revolution and to be protected from the risks that come with it. If we don't act, we'll get left behind. And I simply will not let that happen. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
I think Senator Haggerty is next and then Senator Tillis. Or Senator Britt and then Tillis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ladies first. Senator Haggerty, please continue.
Okay.
Then ladies first. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you. This bill creates a market structure framework for digital assets. It's going to supercharge innovation here in America. We've been long awaiting this. Less than a year ago, this committee advanced the Genius Act, and it has promoted a tremendous world-leading regulatory framework for stablecoins. The act that we're going to pass today promises to do the same thing for all digital assets. And I want to thank you, Chairman Scott, for your leadership and for your commitment to me to work on technical fixes to the Genius Act that we have bipartisan agreement on. And I want to thank Senator Alsobrooks, Senator Warner, and Senator Marino for working with me on this bipartisan fix, and look forward to getting that implemented in the next iteration of this bill. Thank you.
Senator Britt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your leadership on this and everyone who took so much time and energy to help get this where it is today, in particular, Senator Lummis. You have put heart and soul into this, countless hours, because you want to make sure that we innovate here on our shores. You want to make sure that each and every person has the opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise. And it has been an honor to work with you on this and to watch you lead. In particular as well, Senator Tillis and Senator Alsobrooks, thank you for your tireless advocacy to make sure that we got this right. I do hope that this committee continues to look at ways that we can provide relief for community banks. There are a number of places where we have seen overburdensome regulations, things that were not intended to apply to a certain group. And we know that they're the lifeblood of our main streets and our small towns. And so I hope that we continue to look at that and look for ways to work together, even on this piece of legislation. In particular, Senator Cruz and I have a piece of legislation, the Community Bank Relief Act. We know when the Durbin Amendment was passed in 2010 that it ultimately, there were about 7,500 community banks that were exempt during that time. And now today there are at least or fewer than 4,500. So I think there are several entities there that were never intended to be burdened by that regulation. And I think we should fix it. That's one example of things that we can do to make sure that we're looking at the entire ecosystem. And I hope as we move forward that we'll be committed to doing just that. But thank you for your work and look forward to seeing this through.
Senator Tillis and then Senator Blunt Rochester.
Very, very briefly, I just wanted to associate myself with the comments made by Senator Gallego earlier about the work that we have to do. And with respect to what Senator Alsobrooks just discussed, we're going to keep the same spirit of negotiations going that we have up to this point. I want to thank Senator Lummis because she and her staff, who deserves a long weekend, they all do, but especially Chris. They thank them for their hard work. But I also want to talk to the stakeholders out here. You know, people know that I'm in disagreement with some of the banking community, but I've been with them before. I'm going to be with them again, and I'm willing to listen to ways that we can make this bill better as it moves forward. But we really must move forward. So, to the stakeholders who are satisfied with the bill, great. To the ones who want more work, you have my commitment to continue to treat you in the same professional manner that I've requested of my staff all along the way. And Mr. Chair, thank you for your patience and thank you for your leadership in getting this mark done.
Senator Blunt Rochester.
Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, and to all of the members of the committee, and to all of our staff who have spent countless hours, even through holidays, to work on this. That is because it is so consequential to our country and our economy. And because it's so consequential, it is important to get it right. For my state of Delaware, we have more crypto ATMs per capita than any other state. We've had the AARP come in. While they support the provision that was in it, they haven't put out a statement that they support the whole bill because there are still concerns. My community banks, I am concerned still. Insider trading was one of the things that for me, people could understand. And in this environment, there is a lot of concern. And so what I hope, and while I'm, again, grateful to the group that has worked very hard and tirelessly, after the Genius Act, for me, I can't take a handshake. I want the work to happen in committee. And a part that was really missing were hearings. There were a lot of members of this committee who said to me, I don't understand what this is. If we don't understand it, how can we legislate? And so as we move forward, I appreciate the good faith efforts. And I think we still have work to do. And I look forward to working with all of my colleagues, but particularly on behalf of the American people, because this is too big for us to fail. I yield back.
Thank you. Senator Lummis, comments?
I just want to add my thanks, Mr. Chairman, to you, to everyone on our side of the aisle who's worked so hard, to those of you on the other side that have worked so hard, and to a lot of the people that have informed the decision-making that's involved in this bill. Particular thanks to the folks from Treasury and Patrick Witt from the White House. Honestly, without their involvement, I don't think we could have gotten as much done. The agencies went from offering technical assistance to really rolling up their sleeves and helping with this bill. And our staffs, particularly Chris Land, my staffer, I can't say enough about your dedication to this. As I've said to Chris many times, we're the dogs that caught the tire, and it kept spinning and our heads kept beating against the pavement, but we can't let go because we caught the tire, and we're not going to let go of the tire until people on both sides of the aisle are satisfied that this is a product we can all be proud of. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely. Let me just finally say this process has been one of the most informative and challenging processes I've been through as a United States Senator. I will also say that it has been one of the most transparent times and processes I've seen, with members on both sides of the aisle and industry all in the same room at the same time for hours upon hours upon hours. Any suggestion that somehow this was done without a process that was available to all members, undeniably, factually, patently false. I will say that the members Gallego, also Brooks, Warner, CCM, Catherine, as well as Britt, Rounds, Lummis, Tillis, and Moreno, the number of hours that you all spent talking to each other and getting to know each other better is unbelievable. How Gallego and Moreno continue to talk is a shock to me, but truly all things are possible. Colombians, both of them, but thank God for that part. I also want to acknowledge the fact that Senator Gallego worked with Patrick Witt from the White House, tons and tons of hours trying to thread a needle. And I will say that without Patrick and the White House engaging with Democrats, this first step, it's not even the last step, this first step would not have been accomplished in a bipartisan fashion. Without Ryan and Tyler Williams, excuse me, Tyler, there you are, looking for you over there. Working together with our staff, it would not have been possible to find ourselves where we are today. And I want to thank all staff, but particularly Janie and my staff for their profound impact on this process. You all have worked, I know for sure, thousands of hours over the last few months just on this piece of legislation. And at 1:30 last night and at 4 a.m. this morning, I was still getting texts from you all and responding at 4 in my heart. 5 for real. But literally, this process has been one that has been, I think, quite educational. And I hope that we have a successful process on the floor. But I know one thing for sure, that when you all say you're going to continue to work on it, you mean it. And Warner, once again, thank you for your dedication through some challenging times. You kept working. And may the Lord bless your family with the challenges. And CCM, I've gotten to know you a lot better. Appreciate you. I know we don't always get to the final point, but we're going to get there at some point. And thank you for your hard work and staying the course, no matter how you vote on the floor. With that, meeting adjourned.
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
All right, nako. Hi, nako. Type 1 if you can hear me well. Grabe, alauna ng madaling araw. Sino ang crypto influencer na nagla-live ng alauna? Aber, sige nga. Alam mo, yan yung mga alam talaga kung ano yung nagpapagalaw sa market. Alam nila yan. Tulad ngayon, coming from 79,000, 78, kanina nag-TLSBD, no? Na-invalidate yung mga long, yung mga short. Na-invalidate, totoo lang. Diba? Invalidated, ito actually kakatama lang ng ang lalim binabaan no? Pero ito, pakita ko lang yung technicals natin. No? So, invalidate yung mga short kanina. Ay, grabe. Invalidated ang mga short. Give me a second. Let me just try to do some stinger. Miranda.
A technical analysis for the crypto market traders live with Coach Miranda Minor.
Grabe talaga itong invalidation kanina. So kanina, nasa ilalim na tayo. No, kita nyo to, itong area na to. So itong talagang ino-sure rejection niya, no? Kasi nire-respeto niya yung resistance, no? Pero nung nagkaroon ng markup hearing, ayun na, umalagwa na. Tapos ngayon pumasa na. Bantayan nyo na. Pwedeng ang gawin ng market, pag hinataw pa tong 83, pwede mag-85, no? The market is pumping and you are benefiting on it live. Wala kayong nakikitang ibang KOL na nagla-live, siguro Coach Miranda lamang, habang umaalagwa ang crypto dahil alam natin kung bakit. Siguro ako lang, pwede ko i-claim ba yan, ha? All right, parang may nag-kick out sa akin. Teka lang na. Yung nag-kick out kay Coach Miranda, parang siguro yabang naman itong coach na to. 'Di ba? Yung siguro sinabi niya. All right, sige, ilabas ko lang si Bitcoin Ako lang ang kasama nyo. Wala nang iba. Na kasama habang nagpapump yung market dahil sinabi na ni Coach Miranda last week pa na something massive is going to happen. Diba? Sinabi ko na yan sa inyo. Sinabi ko na yan sa inyo. Ayan, 82 na, no? 82. Last week ko pa yung sinabi, type 1 kung nakita mo. Diba? Sabi ko last week, hindi naniwala kayo. From 78 na wala. Nag-82 na. Uy, salamat ka, Miranda. Uy, another $200. Profit. Hello. Salamat sa pera. Pag talagang alam mo, no, kakasabay ka kay Coach kasi nakikinig ka sa akin. Wala, pinas nila eh. Pwede nyo akong kape, ha? Nyo akong kape. Pinost natin, nanap ko yung post ko last week eh. Sana mag-83 eh, no? Ay, salamat doon. Ayan, no? April 17 ko pa sinend sa inyo. April 17. Kulit nyo eh. May pinost ako last week eh. Saan ba yun? Sa pinost ko last, sabi ko, massive news. Ito. May 8, sabi ko, next is going to be massive. Ayan. Masaya tayo. Alam mo, kahit mag-82, masaya na ako. Okay na yan. Kalma na tayo. At least kung profit na. Pero pag ginawa mo, 85, mas masaya ako dyan, Miss Market. Ha? Diba? Meron kang resistance doon. Sinopla ka lang ng konti. Sabi niya, kumalma ka na. Resistance ka doon. Diba? Talagang in-invalidate niya tayo eh, no? Kasi, teka lang, Wally. I-share ko lang ito. Ayan. May resistance ka doon. Ayan, boom. Tinamaan ka, diba? Pero ang masakit dito, kampante na ako. Gusto ko na nga talagang sakyan pababa eh. Kasi, valid yung shorting mo eh, no? So, dito, support. Support. Tapos, nire-respeto niya. Sa area na to, no? Tapos, nung nagkaroon ng clarity bill, ganun ka-importante na nakikinig tayo sa mga FA kasi in-invalidate niya yung short. Itong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, itong 5 kandila na yan, dahil yan dun sa magandang balita ng clarity. Pero alam nyo, ito lang naman masasabi ko sa inyo. Alam mo, forget about the candle today. Ako, mas excited ako sa candle ng 3 years from now o kahit 1 year from now. Kasi pag naging batas ito, ulitin ko pag ito naging batas, yung repercussion sa mga bansang tulad natin na talagang naghahanap muna ng resibo, iisipin na natin na okay, hindi na yan politically motivated kasi Trump can always say pro-crypto. But kung nasa batas na ito, this can create legs to the argument. Diba? Again, Morgan Stanley, which is one of the largest bank, meron ng Bitcoin ETF, Miranda. They just recently launched on April 9. They have one of the best expense ratio or management charges. Diba? They already have a Bitcoin ETF. They just launched noong April 9. April 2026. So, I mean, ngayon, parang they're doing some tiptoeing. Diba? Ayan, no? Morgan Stanley just launched April 2026. Wag mo nang asahan si BPI, napakaliit na bangko ni BPI, magsaya ka na. Morgan Stanley is now offering Bitcoin ETF. Kung maging batas pa ito, they're not walking on eggshells. You're not walking on landmines, ika nga. Meron ng batas. Batas na. Hindi na siya pronouncement ng isang presidente. Di ba? Si Biden ayaw niya ng Bitcoin, no? Ang argument niya sa politika, MAGA is getting tax evasions yata or tax problems because of crypto. O ngayon, nung binaligtad siya ni Trump, walang nagawa yung Biden administration before because everything he said was not in the law. It was all an executive pronouncements. Even Gensler, they were all saying pangit sa crypto, but when they changed the administration, everything in the songbook has changed. So you would imagine if the banks right now are offering this, what more if it becomes a law? No, so what I'm trying to say here, Cameranda, is, I mean, not a financial advice, of course. No, yung ibenta yung bato nyo, yung ibenta yung kalabaw nyo. As always, you trade money you're willing to lose, no? And you trade your own risks, di ba? Sa akin lang, sa ganang akin, pag ito talaga naging batas, this is going to spark volumes. This speaks volumes, no? And this will have a ripple effect, ika nga, no? ng kagandahan ng pananaw o lente sa crypto, Cameranda. This is going to really create solid legs to the argument that crypto is here to stay. Now, there was one Cameranda who asked me, Coach, akala ko ba may decentralization? Why are we now kumaga celebrating Senate, no? But you need to remember, you just don't say it that way. The spirit and the law, the spirit of the Clarity Bill spans beyond decentralization. Number one, it defines Bitcoin and Ethereum not as a security anymore. It is going to be a commodity. Number two, it creates some economics in terms of earning yields on stable coins. It has nothing to do with decentralization. Diba? It's even an offering or an advantage that founders of crypto in the past has never imagined that stable coins yields will now be offered. No? And based on my live the past couple of days, sabi ko nga, $11 trillion ang pera, $19 trillion ang pera sa mga commercial banks in the US in terms of savings. Kunin mo lang ang 5% niyan, which is around 1 trillion. Maganda na ang pera ngayon maganda na ang market cap ulit ng crypto. 'Di ba? And just imagine the baby boomers' money. No? Today, in the next couple of years, magpapalit na ang pera, no? From baby boomers. No? Let's accept the fact, mangangamatay ang mga yan, pupunta na sa Gen X. So kung nagpalit ng hands, di ba? The Gen X now will decide where to put their money. And that's the reason why walang choice. Wala pong choice. No? Ang mga bangko, like Morgan Stanley, kinakatok na sila. Morgan Stanley, oy, magbigay kayo ng Bitcoin ETF. Maraming mga customer yan. Therefore, they were forced. I would say they were forced because, again, they launched after many years. How many months? BlackRock launched when? January 11. Di ba? 2024. So, this is massive. No, so I don't want us to just zoom in with the results today. I want you guys, don't double click or don't double down on the results right now. This is monumental. We're still, don't count the chicks when the eggs are not yet hatched. Ang pinaka-iniintay natin is in the plenary, no? And based on my research, the plenary actually has more votes because if the Republicans will do a solid block votes, no? If the Republicans will do a solid block vote, take a look into the numbers. Okay? If the Republicans is going to do a solid block vote, sure ball na tayo sa plenary, papasa tayo. And if you need to remember, Senator Loomis was discussing a couple of amendments earlier, and she kept on quoting it was a bipartisan amendment. Therefore, naturalmente iniisip natin yung mga ini-introduce yung amendments, merong imprimatur ng mga Democrats. Therefore, kung ito ay tama, i-assume natin na magba-block vote. Normally, they do that. No? At ang pangbasag ng tiebreaker, ng tie is the sitting Vice President, si J.D. Vance. So, so kapag very hallmark yung mga boto, 50-50 yan halos eh. Kasi 100, di ba? Pag nag-block vote ang Republicans, 53, panalo na ang plenary. Panalo na sa plenary Kamiranda ang clarity bill. Ang Genius Act ang bilis eh. Pumasa sa committee hearing, nag-plenary tapos, 'di ba? So, ito pag pumasa ito, again, sa mga hindi nakakalam kung gaano kaimportante ang clarity bill, malaki ito. At kung iisipin natin sa bansang Pilipinas na napakaliit, imaginein mo kung mayroon kang Bitcoin, sabi ng Metrobank, we're now offering mutual funds based on Bitcoin. Hindi ka na magugulat kasi alam ko na yan, 2026 pa yan eh. Paano kung mag-offer ang BPI ng year 2030 ng Bitcoin? Hindi ka nagulat. Kasi hindi mo na kailangan bayaran si BPI para magka-Bitcoin exposure. Meron ka na talagang sarili mong Bitcoin. Hindi ka na magbabayad. Tulad ng ginagawa ng Morgan Stanley, meron silang less than 1% management charge. Kasi yung mga taong ayaw maghawak ng sariling Bitcoin. They just want exposure, quote-unquote. Diba? So, kung nakikinig ka kay Coach Miranda today, di maswerte ka. No? Meron kang lente, meron kang insight on what's happening with the market. No? Again, let's quickly check on the technicals of the market. Isang mabilis para hindi tayo ma-FOMO. Wag kayo ma-FOMO, Kamiranda. No? Again, the market can always react based on many drivers. In this case, good morning, 1:00 ng madaling araw. Let's do this, Kamiranda.
A technical analysis for the crypto market traders live with Coach Miranda Miner.
Alright, puntahan po natin ng mabilis ang presyo ng Bitcoin currently at 81,620, humataw ng halos 82 kanina lamang. At sinopla po ito ng resistance na nakikita nyo sa screen ni Coach Miranda. Kanina marami nag-short kasi nga halos nag-confirm na ang shorting play. However, na-invalidate because medyo maganda-ganda pong balita yun nangyari. It's okay, no? It's okay. Yeah, if your stop loss, that is perfectly fine. No? Let's quickly check on strategy kung ano ang kanilang price. Parang pakiramdam ko pumalo to paakyat. True enough, no? For the past 3 hours, nagpa-pump din ang strategy which is part of Saylor. Let's now go on Robinhood or Robinhood. Okay, the same two candles, no? Itong mga kandila na to, this is because of all crypto, no? You have MicroStrategy and Robinhood all pumping. Let's quickly check on Coinbase, or I think Coin yung ano nila. Okay, Coin yung kanilang ticker. Let's see. Okay, the same. You have the same two big candles like Bitcoin. So from a correlation coefficient perspective, talagang highly correlated yung takbo ng Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, Robinhood, and Coinbase, no? Yung mga crypto-related companies. Let's quickly check on some of your favorite alternative coins. Si XRP ba? Meron. Meron. Uy, ang ganda. Meron lahat no? Congratulations. Pero ang sarap mag-celebrate. Ang sarap. Uy, nasa loob ng triangle si ano, no? Uy, ang ganda ha. Nasa loob ng triangle si... Saan ba tayo? Okay. Si ano? Si XRP. Bantayan nyo na nga ito, Kamiranda. Bantayan nyo na nga ito. Baka mag-confirm ito. Pwede mag-confirm. Pag mag-confirm ito, parang si Bitcoin mag-confirm ng 82, no? Babantayan ko to. Alright, maganda. Naka-symmetrical triangle tayo, no? 1.61. Beneficiary din sila. Nag-1.48. Totoo ba ito? Nagbilang 1.48 si XRP. Ay, nako. Diba? Bitcoin, 81,500. Kami. Wait lang. Ayan, nagwawala ako, no? Para may kumokontra, no? May kumokontra. Sige. Okay, meron ba kayong tanong na pwede kong masagot? Type 1 kung naririnig ako ng maayos. Type 1 kung if I am coming in clear. Ito, pitikin ko to. Pitikin ko kaya to, kumalma kayo yung 200. Teka lang, can you guys hear me? Ayan, hello. Wait lang, Kamiranda, can you please type 1? Medyo naglalag ako, no? Naglalag si Coach. Ayan. Sige. Wala namang 200K. Pitikin ko kayo eh. Kayo naman talaga. Kalma lang. Kalma lang. Malabo yung 200. Kumalma kayo. Ano yun? Yung market cap mo naging 4 trillion? Ayan, teka lang, nawawala-wala si Coach Miranda. You need to remember yung price ng Bitcoin, hindi aakyat yan kung walang bagong pera or liquidity. No? So, kailangan meron siyang liquidity. Okay, meron siya dapat liquidity. No? Hindi pwedeng umakyat lang ng umakyat yan. So, tapusin ko lang yung Okay, pag naputol ako, magla-live ako sa Facebook. Maya-maya. Sorry. Saan pwedeng mag-check ng buying positions? Makinig kayo sa live ko. Ito na, tinuturo ko na. Sa mga nakamiss. Ito, kalma. Ito lang. Ito na. Kalma nyo. Ito. Share ko na. No? Sorry kung nawawala-wala ako. Siguro internet. No? Kasi nawawalan din ng kuryente ngayon sa Dasmay sa Cavite. Ayan, so di ba nagkakaroon ka ng sopla dito, no? May sopla, teka lang, meron pa to. Sopla ka dito, yun. Kunin the more the merrier, di ba? Sopla, so ngayon, nag-81,400. So para sa akin, if you would like to re-enter, antayin mo yung kung meron pang another leg up paakyat, no? Huwag yung pasukin pag nagre-retrace, kukuha kayo for me lang, no? For me. Kung gagawa pa siya ng panibagong higher high, babasagin niya to. Itong 82,821. Ang known resistance ko dyan, nandito sa malayo. Nasa 85,456, which is your 382. Maraming na-invalidate na short kanina, yung nag-shorting play dito sa ilalim. Bigla kayong tinaasan kasi nga merong FA. No? So, pwede rin mangyari na marami nagsasabi, sige, pababain natin ng 74. 74 mo na, di ba? Para umalagwa na tayo paakyat, no? Another leg down muna. Sabi natin malaki ang kumpiyansa, I might be wrong, na mag-85, doon magkakaroon ng correction play, no? So, maganda yung balita. Huwag niyo munang sa mga hindi sanay, sa mga, di ba, nakataas na ito, nasa resistance rejection na. Ayan, so linawin natin para makita niyo mabuti. Ayan, tanggalin ko na to. Ito na. So ito, nandito na yung candle, pababain natin yung candle. So dito na siya. Nag-aantay na siya dyan. So, yan. Naman nagkaroon ng correction play doon. So ngayon, kung babasagin niya pa itong panibagong itong resistance na to, doon ko pumasok sa re-enter ng basag niya sa taas. Papasukin mo yung re-enter ng basag dito. Right? Okay, ang pwede mong gawing stop loss is taguan mo tong resistance na to, yung price sa ilalim niyan. Okay, dapat ang RRR mo mataas. Yun, so yun ang ating quick technicals dyan. Ngayon, sa mga nag-aantay pababa, huwag niyo munang intayin bumaba ito. Naglalaban yung buyers and sellers at open pa ang US market, no? Open pa, tulugang Asian market. Pag gumising yan bukas, alas 9, pwedeng panibagong pump, mag-open ng institutions ng Asia, no? Pero mukhang late na sila, kaya nga, minsan unfair. Pag nagtitrade kayo sa Asian hours, walang pagbabago. Pero pag gising mo kinabukasan, nag-pump na pala. Kasi nga, sige, paano mo i-explain ngayon yan? Tutulog ka, nakatulog ka, ang tulog mo, sabihin mo ng alas 10 ng gabi tulog ka. Ang presyo ng Bitcoin is 79. Pag-gising mo, nasa 85 na, for example. Paano mo i-explain yun? Ang mga massive crypto updates nangyayari sa US hours, diba? So, meron kang shorting play, wala kang stop loss. Pababa kasi yung Bitcoin, di bigla kang inakyatan because may market clarity, diba? Sige. So yung re-entry for me, ulitin ko lang, yung madalit salita, basagin niya yung previous resistance niya. Gagawa pa siya. Mas maganda din, basagin niya itong 82,800 at pwedeng magguhit paakyat hanggang dito. Pwede yun, hindi sure yun. Hindi man ako propeta para magsabing aakyat at aakyat dyan, no? We are on an industry of trading your risks and in exchange of rewards. So yun. Basta ang mahalaga, nababantayan mo na may mga FA tulad ng market clarity. Kasi ang kita naman dyan, hindi nangyayari 30 minutes. Ang kita, nangyayari yan, mas malaking kita kung alam mo na may paparating na mga malalaking balita at napapasukan mo ahead of time. Diba? At kung hindi man umayon sa bias mo, you have a stop loss ahead of always, no? Para maging protective stop ika nga Kamiranda. All right, the price is 81,400. Medyo maganda-ganda. Sa mga other altcoins, ganun din no? Nagtataasan din. Ang ganda ng market, puro green. Ngayon din, I'm not sure if the mentors discussed earlier sa inyo, si Xi Jinping kasama si Kuya Donald Trump ay confirmed na po ng US Senate as a federal chair, no? Effective kasi last day ni Jerome Powell today, no? Alam mo, nakakatuwa. Sa tagal na nating nagsasalita dito, nakakaano na tayo, dalawang Fed chair na tayo, dalawang SEC secretary sa US, nakakadalawang presidente na tayo. Nakakadalawang presidente na tayo. So, alright. Eka Miranda, hindi ako yung may problema. I think may problema ang StreamYard. Okay, pasensya na kayo ha. Okay, pasensya na po kayo. Good morning, good morning. Hindi ko problema. Kamiranda, just for the record, it is StreamYard ang may problema. Okay ang aking internet. Okay ang internet ko. Kanina ko pa sinecheck, no? Apparently, naglo-load, no? Yung hindi ma-reach yung website nila kanina. So, pasensya na kayo kung ako ay medyo merong ganitong klaseng mga pangyayari. But siguro yun na nga, no? Siguro type 1 na lang kung talagang naintindihan po ninyo throughout the long session yung sinasabi ni Coach Miranda na I've been saying since kanina pa, no? Na always, siguro in short, plan your trades and trade your plan. Ayan. Siguro last na to, no? Isa sa mga sasabihin ko sa inyo, alam nyo, sabi nga nung ending nung committee hearing kanina, alam mo, minsan nakakainggit yung mga senador dyan sa US. Sabi nung senador kanina, no? Parang halos umiyak-iyak na siya, si Senator also Brooks. Sabi niya, we are pro-innovation. I said yes in the committee hearing, but it doesn't mean I'm going to vote yes in the plenary. We have so much work to do. Ganda, innovation. Malaki ang palagay ko na pwede ring nasa liderato yan eh. Kasi kung gusto talaga ng Pangulo, tulad ng Pangulong Trump, aandar yung dalawang branch of Congress eh, no? Nakakatuwa tong US na to. Well, I'm still happy with the Philippines. We have our own strengths as a country. Kumaga, I'm saying I'm happy with the US, but I'm not saying I'm not happy with the Philippines. No, I think we have our own strengths and weaknesses, and we have our own priorities. But if you're going to ask me particularly for crypto, gumagalaw ang Crypto Senate. Congratulations sa mga catalyst of change in Senate. I don't want to call her politics, but kudos to Senator Bam Aquino, which is front and center of Cadena Bill, no? Sa Congress, walang gumagalaw pa eh, no? Based on my conversations 4 days ago, I have a dinner with people who are aware of what's happening. Medyo inuupuan pa nila sa Congress, no? Siguro marami pa silang priority doon. But be it as it may, okay na yan. Nung kagandahan yan, mauna ang US, susunod na lang sa Philippines or sa other jurisdiction. Basta pag naipasa tong clarity bill, klaro na pati yung Fed rails, no, yung crypto companies are going to be given access to Fed rails, and having access to Fed payment rails is massive. Meron kang opportunity na magkaroon ng access doon sa digital money superhighway na Fed lang or kanilang mga nominated stakeholders will have an access, and crypto will have access to that. That's massive. That's massive. So I don't want to sound very bullish na FOMO, but we're talking the next couple of years to be very excited. Are you excited? Are you excited, ha? Kahit 2:00 na. Ay, taga saan ba kayo? Ba't pa kayo gising pa, nakikinig kayo kay Coach Miranda? At napaka not buenas, but congrats kasi nasabayan nyo yung pump ng market, no? Sabayan nyo, congratulations. Nag-correction doon sa 82 kasi may resistance doon. Taga saan pa kayo? Magpakilala nga kayo sa comment, at salamat at talagang tulad ni Coach Miranda nababantayan natin, no, ang market. Alam mo, isa sa mga bagay na masaya ako bilang isang sabi mo ng content creator, KOL, is alam na natin yung mga malalaking balita that can move markets. If not everyone can do that. Siguro yung old na ako, I could not even do it, no? Siguro parte ito ng exposure natin ng matagal na sa market, no? And Clarity Bill has been our topic since longest time. I even talked to Wei, the owner of CoinsPH, in my show, and so on and so forth, no? So tomorrow when we wake up, we know what's happening, we know what has happened, and we are prepared, no? Ang talagang jahe lang sa Pilipino is talaga magpupuyat ka talaga sa mga important updates na to. Pero hindi naman to araw-araw, no? May mga pagkakataon lang talaga na ang market will move when you're sleeping in the Philippines, no? But it doesn't stop you naman. Kasi maganda nga dyan, you are, kakape ka lang, printing-printe ka kasi madaling araw. Samantalang sa US, yung mga tao doon may trabaho. They might also not be able to trade kasi may mga full-time work sila. Kayo, konting kape lang, kahit konting gising ng 1:00, 2:00, pera. Basta tama yung edukasyon, merong information. Information is power, information is money. Imaginein mo yun, di ba? Alam mo lang nangyayari, pwede mo nang sabayan yung market. Di ba? Not all can do that, and if you can do that, i-train mo yung sarili mo. Maghanap ka ng mga opportunities na ganito ulit, na malaki yung mga potential na move ng market. Di ba? It's not timing in the market, it's also your time in the market, Kamiranda. Ha? Uy, good morning, 1:35.
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
Good morning, from Canada. Ayan, taga-Canada daw. Sabi ni Narold ba to? Calgary, Canada. Sabi ni Extra Mustard, member natin, Coach Tagamuntin Lupa po, nice to meet you po. Gusto ko kayong kamayan nung Traders Fair. Kaso, ay huwag ka nang mahiya. Ha? Okay. Sige. Ayan. Selfie daw. Ayun. 'Di ba? Selfie. Marhay na aldaw. Ay, oo, ikaw pala yun, Miggy. Salamat at nauubos ko nung nagkape ako sa hotel. At ayun ang pinapak natin with Mentor Alfie. Thank you, Miggy Tiozon. Ayan, ha? Thank you, Miggy Tiozon. Ayan. Sige, thanks for this comment. Thanks for making my day. Ayan, sabi ni Brad Rey. Oy, alright, plan your trades and trade your plan. As always. Uy, meron nang kukukwento sa inyo. Pwede ko ba ikwento? Okay lang magkwento tayo ng konti. Okay lang ba? Okay lang ba kung magkwento ako ng konti? May napakita ako sa inyo, Kamiranda. Ito, meron akong kwento sa inyo. Pakinggan natin tong video na to. Okay lang ba? Sana marinig ninyo. Kanina kasi brown out dito sa amin. Ewan ko nga ba ito yung mga brown out. Panoorin niyo to. Ito si Coach Miranda Minor kanina. Ay, naglalag pa ba ako? Can you please type number 2 kung hindi na ako naglalag, kung okay na tayo. Sige nga, type number 2. Type number 2 ka, Miranda, kung hindi na ako naglalag. Ito. Tignan niyo si Coach Miranda. Play natin tong ating video. Ay, video ba to? Video yung nilagay ko eh. Ay, ba't hindi video? Ayaw mag-share . Ay, play ko na lang ito. Play natin. Ang tanong, nagpe-play ba to? Nagamit ko na yung StreamYard, hindi ako may problema, Kamiranda. Nag-test ako ng speed test ko. Walang problema. Ang StreamYard ang may problema today. Huwag niyo po akong away. Pero sa totoo lang, nakaka-relate ako sa inyo. Ayoko namang naglalag yung pinapanood ko. 'Di ba? Mabilis yung internet ko. Ewan ko nga ba dyan sa StreamYard? Ngayon, tingnan mo. Oh. Ayan, oh. Yung upload siguro medyo mabagal. No? Pero, hindi naman ganun karaming kailangan data eh. Di ba? Oh. Mabilis yan. Kahit pa paano pwede yan. Yung StreamYard na may problema, Kamiranda. Anyways, paglaban no. Alright, nakakabitin nga sakit sa ulo pag nako sa totoo, alam nyo, totoo to. Lalo na pag lalaki ka. Sinasabi ko sa inyo. Ha? Sakit yan. Oy, anong iniisip mo? Masakit yan sa totoo lang. Ito na. Teka lang, ito napanoorin natin. Nakakatuwa tong vlog ko kanina. Sana okay na to. Kami na kayo matulog. Dahil nanonood. Ito na, pa-play natin sa inyo. Nakakatuwa to eh. Nakakatuwa to. Yun. Oh, let's all watch this para meron tayong konting panoorin. Yan. Hey, Kamiranda, walang kuryente ngayon sa amin sa Dasma. So, naisip ko, nandito sa mga pinakamagandang use case, owning a BYD is to convert the power of BYD na kuryente. So, ginawa natin, kinuha natin yung source, yung extension. Itong si BYD, meron siyang palabas na power. Lapit ka dito. Meron siyang palabas na power. Wala kasing kuryente kanina dito. So, sabi ko, na-realize ko, pwede palang gamitin yung BYD. Tingnan mo yung ginawa ko. Okay, power na yan. Ngayon itong BYD na to, re-recta yan dito papaloob. Ito yung wire niya. Ayan. At meron siyang extension, siyempre mahaba natin. At dito, since wala kaming kuryente, nagamit namin yung power ng BYD to have a fan and yung music sa aking speaker. So gumagana siya. Diba? So yan, naka-light yung Marshall. So yun pa lang ang nade-demo natin. Pagandahan nito, we're able to use the power of BYD. Diba? So yung solar natin, install pa lang next week. But imagine the power na meron tayo. Diba? Thank you BYD ha. Nabibitaw. O, diba? Nagamit ko kanina, nagkaroon ng kuryente ulit after, kaya hindi nakapag-live eh. Nawala kami mga 1.5 hours. Nawala kami ng kuryente rito sa bahay. Diba? Ay, nako. Sabi ni Master, pwede yun, Coach. Yes. Pwede siya. Nakakatuwa, no? Nakakatuwa. Oy, maraming salamat. Sige na, 2:00 matulog na tayo. Ay, salamat. Last na to. Sabi sa akin ng isang kameranda, yun nga na bakit daw may regulation, decentralized naman talaga. Sige nga, mag-comment kayo. If you're listening to me as a team replay, mag-comment nga kayo. Sa palagay nyo ba, kailangan talagang magkaroon na ng batas? O itong batas na to is against sa essence ng decentralization? Comment down below. Or after the live, masaka kayo mag-comment para mabasa ni Coach Miranda. O sige. Pwede ng pang King Panda. Makakabili rin ako niyan. Sipag lang. Aba, oo naman. Kaya niyan. Oy, Bitcoin, 81,700. Congrats sa mga nakapasok dyan nung pump kanina. Alright, maraming salamat. Hoy, walang FOMO, ha? Walang FOMO. Kumalma kayo. Maging community tayo ng responsableng traders. At wag tayong bida-bida. No? Sa market. Good. Hindi pwede matutulog na ako, Gerald. Ikaw na lang ang hindi matutulog. Ha? Ikaw daw ang nominated na bantay naming lahat. At ako hinahanap na doon kanina pa. Joke lang naman. Ha? Enjoy kayo dyan. Kung nasan man kayo ngayon, sana kayo nasa mabuting kalagayan. And if you enjoyed this live because nagstay ka ng matagal, mga team background music, team background si Coach, hello sa inyo. Type number 2 kung kayo yon, ha? At ako'y magkakape mo. Hindi ako inaantok. Bigla akong nagising. Nabuhayan ng dugo ang aking mga spot positions. Balitaan ko kayo kung meron ng date ang plenary meeting because doon na talaga ang finals. No, hindi katulad ni Team Lebron, wala laglag sa playoffs. Ay, tumatayo. Ay, nako. No comment na tayo dyan. Maraming mas magagaling na mga bata. Ano sa palagay mo? Talo no? Ganun talaga. Not everything is for you. Ha? Marami nang good night. Salamat. Walang anuman. Mga team puyat. Uy, gumanda-ganda yung connection ko ngayon. Siguro, inaway ko na talaga kung globe na to, hindi mais ayos yung connection ko. No? Kung kailan matatapos na ako, doon gumanda yung connection natin. Pero okay lang yan. Ay, alam mo kung yung channel talaga natin, hindi pwedeng pang politika. Marami tayong napag-usapan, no? Lalo na kahapon, talagang kating-kati ako mag-live, pero ayoko talaga mag-live kasi hindi ako makakaiwas mag-discuss at mag-criticize ng mga politiko. Ayoko, magkakakulay yung station natin, di ba? Yung kaibigan, ay nako, mahirap na. O, sige na talaga. Nako, ayokong sagutin. I can neither confirm nor deny, Stephen, matulog ka na. Kinetsu, matulog ka na rin. I could neither confirm nor deny na matanda na talaga si Lebron. Ikaw ikaw ba naman meron kong anak na player din eh. Matanda ka na talaga. Ayoko talaga, Donski. Nakikinig ang Bit Pinas. Alam nyo na. Ha? Baka ma-headline ako, Coach Miranda Minor, DDS. Coach Miranda Minor, kakampink. Coach Miranda Minor, Team BBM Loyalista. Marami nakikinig. Alam nyo ba, nung karang araw, linggo sobrang bida si Coach Miranda. Buong lahat front page ng Bit Pinas. Mukha ako no? So, hindi na. Wag na lang, para safe tayong lahat. Mas okay yon. Pero di ba, ang hirap hindi magbigay ng sarili mong opinion Lalo na ako. Ako pa ba? Ang hirap Ayoko. Gawa ko ibang channel. No? Ano kayang channel name? Pag ako gagawa ng political channel, ano kaya magiging channel name natin? Di ba? Hirap Ay, tiis-tiis. Ganun talaga. Pag wala kang... ang hirap. Sa totoo lang, ang dami kong gusto talagang sabihin, i-analyze. Parang himayin, parang crypto sa parang US politics. Ay, sinasabi ko sa inyo. Pero hindi Merong rason pa tayo. By choice yan. Ay, Kuya Jack Burns, kising ka pa, kape nga tayo minsan. Dalawin mo ako dito. Ha? Not Coach. That's the fighter. Man is a political. I am a political. Sabi ko sa inyo, 90s. Late 90s, ako po'y aktivista. Ay, nako, sinasabi ko sa inyo. Dugo ko. Lalo na pag PUP kagaling, alam niyo yan. Ay, pwede siguro. Pwede yung magbigay ng tips. Vote wisely. Ay, pwede. Pwede. yung rakon no? Pwede. Alter ego na. You gave me an idea. Pwede. Sino si Kags? Okay. Ito ba yung Kagawad Aisa o iba to? Okay. Palit ng voice. Oo, yes. Pero means mahirap din iyan Normally, alam mo naman ng mga tao, ad hominems, tinitira yung tao, hindi yung issue. Mahirap. Pero pwede. Di ba? Marunong mag-laptop no? Stephen, may mga small jobs nyo Magtatanim na lang ako dito sa probinsya namin. Oo. Okay, salamat. God bless you. Love you 3,000 and I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Kape muna si Coach Miranda. Good night. 2:00 na. Bye! Maraming salamat. Good night. Ano ba yung pang exit ko dito? Exit stinger. Ito na lang yung pang exit natin para maganda-ganda yung ating bungad na usapan. Uy, mga yung website natin inaayos pa namin. Kalma lang kayo. Bye-bye!
Hi, Miranda. My name is Edre, 22 years old. I'm a nursing student. Nag-enroll ako sa GMMG Elite University noong July 2025 because I wanted to learn how to trade for the long term. Nagsimula ako mag-trade back in 2021. Nanonood na rin ako ng mga videos ni Coach Miranda Minor, but I was trading alone. I ended up blowing my account, kaya napanghinaan ako ng loob and I stopped trading. 4 years later, na-encourage ako ng mother ko na magbalik loob sa trading, but this time we are going to do it the right way. Enrolling sa GMMG Elite University. Nagkaroon ako ng mentor and naging part ako ng trading community. Doon ko na-realize na mas madaling mag-grow when you are surrounded by the right people. Nakahanap ako ng mga taong kayang i-point out ang mga blind spots ko, mga bagay na hindi ko siguro makikita kung mag-isa lang ako nagtitrade. Sa courses ng GMMG Elite University, natutunan ko i-apply ang mga principles na hindi ko pala na-apply before. Game changer talaga yung risk management. 3 things, mas protected na yung capital ko, less emotions, and mas sustainable na ang trading ko. So kung tulad mo ako 4 years ago na walang risk management and walang trading community na gumagabay sa'yo, I encourage you to give GMMG Elite University a try because who knows, it might change the course of your trading journey just like it did mine.
Hello, Miranda. Ako nga pala si OD, 39 years old, and I'm also a virtual assistant. Nag-enroll ako sa GMMG way back 2022. Beginner and intermediate courses in-enroll ko that time. And then after that, sabi ko may missing piece sa trading ko. And then I decided to enroll with a one-on-one mentoring session. After nun, mas natuto ako paano magbasa ng market structure, kung ano dapat yung bread and butter setup. From zero knowledge, ngayon, unti-unti na nagiging green yung PNL ko. Malaking tulong yung may mentor na mag-guide sa'yo sa trading journey mo. May kasama ka mag-chart, nagbabatuhan kayo ng insights sa bawat coin na mag-trade mo. And kung gusto nyo matuto sa cryptocurrency trading, mag-enroll na kayo sa GMMG community. Mag-invest muna tayo sa learning kaysa kung ano-ano yung ginagastos natin. Tuloy-tuloy lang yung pag-aaral. Sabi nga ni Coach, malayo pa pero malayo na. Again, this is OD and happy trading sa ating lahat.
Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Ka Miranda.